Good morning to all our viewers. Good morning to all our listeners. Welcome to today's edition of the Good Old Days here on 2020 Vision Radio. Always a pleasure being with you this time on a Saturday morning. And we do appreciate you joining us. And so wherever you are at this point in time, whether you're here in Nevis, you're in St. Kitts, you are in our region, you are further afield, wherever you are, we are happy to have you, to welcome you to this brand new edition of the Good Old Days. If you are celebrating today, or maybe you are going to celebrate during the course of the upcoming week, we want to rejoice with you and to celebrate with you and to extend to you very best wishes, whether it's birthday, some special anniversary, or maybe you just want to celebrate every day of your life. Okay, whatever it is, we're happy to celebrate with you. If you're on the downside, there are those who may be mourning the loss of a loved one. There may be others who may be experiencing some difficult circumstance. We just want to let you know that, our hearts, our thoughts are with you, our prayers are with you. And of course, we like to say that we are family and that we are in the boat together. All right, so we sympathize with you, and we are just encouraging you to hold on. Don't give up, because the sun will rise, right? And as we give thanks for a brand new day, and we realize that, October is racing fast to the finishing line. But we are thankful for every opportunity to be here for another day when we can be of some blessing to somebody. All right, so good morning again, and welcome to everyone, and we do look forward to the interaction today. Good morning, Shefton. Good morning, Ren. Good morning to our very special guest for today, Mrs. Ermelita Elliott. Good morning, one and all, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Chesley. Good morning, Ren. Good morning to you, Ermelita. Good to have you. Good to have you. I want to say good morning to the entire Good Old Days connection, wherever you are listening from, near, far, or in between. I want to say special good morning to my close-ups, my favorite, my group of favorite people, my nieces and nephews, and some good friends of mine. You know who you are. I'm going to call a long list of names this morning. Just want to say we look forward to having a good time together as usual. As usual, we look forward to having a good time together. Good morning. Good morning, Ren.
Good morning to you, Shefton. Good morning, Chesley. Good morning to our guests. This is Elliot. Always a pleasure to have all of you, whoever you are, wherever you're listening to the Good Old Days. We welcome you to today's program with much anticipation and excitement. We believe today is going to be an extra special day. We've got a woman in the house, so it makes a little difference. We're accustomed to us three men, three wise men, but we have an angel with us today, so we're going to see how things go. And of course, we are welcoming you, inviting you to call 1-869-669-7312 and 1-869-469-7953 and see if you can be a part of our conversation today. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Carol. Good morning to all my siblings all across the world. Wherever you're listening today, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Dale, and good morning, Dr. Paul, and all our wonderful listeners all across the region. We thank you for joining us. Whatever island you're on, we thank you for listening, and we hope that today will be an inspirational program for you.
Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, Paul, I want to go back and call at least one name. I want to say special good morning to our very good friend, Dale.
Dale Butler.
Dale Butler.
Mm-hmm.
There in Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are looking forward to seeing you when the year turns around. Hope you're having a good time.
But I hope you also remember the number, Dale. We'd love to hear from you. 1-869-669-7312. That's also a WhatsApp number. So wherever you are in the world, you have no excuse. You can reach us and be a part of the program. Thank you very much. Chesley?
Okay, Teacher Melita, can you give your good morning greetings? The world is listening to you.
Greetings to our listening audience. I am retired educator Ermelita Elliott of Nevis. Happy to be here on 2020 Vision Radio. Thanks for inviting me to share some experiences on this program, Chesley and Shefton, and also Ren. Thank you.
Yes, and we are happy to have you. And October is the month when we celebrate teachers. I think World Teachers Day was celebrated on October the 5th.
That's correct.
All right, and of course throughout the year we show appreciation to teachers, but we do a little extra in the month of October. Okay, and we are happy to celebrate all those who would have made their significant contribution to nation building, and our teachers have been a very important part of that. They have been the backbone of our nation. All right, so we are happy to celebrate them and to appreciate them and to, to support them and to let them know that, we love them and that they are doing a fantastic job.
Great.
All right. Now, teacher Emelita, she indicated that she has been an educator and a long-standing educator, and she wants us to walk with her way back. So she has on her walking shoes, so we are going as far back as we can. And we're going to ask Emelita just to place Emelita in a village in Nevis. And maybe you can tell us a little about your family, your mom and your dad. All these things are important. People love to hear these things. Yes.
Chesley, yes, I am from the village of Mount Lily. And, lilies are always beautiful.
Yes.
So, from our village in Mount Lily, I came and I was born to Merrill Brown Francis and also Edson Jeffers, both of whom migrated to England early. Yes. So I must say that I grew up with my grandmother, the late Mrs. Christiana Jeffers, from the age of 9 months.
Wow.
And so she taught me and brought me through life. And I must say this morning, it is really a great privilege to be speaking of her. I went to the Combermere Primary School, all-age school then, and spent the first few years of my life before going on to the Charlestown Secondary School. Now, we have to remember in those days, Combermere School and St. James Schools were more or less at a disadvantage in terms of being able to transfer to secondary education. In my year, in 1970, when I went to Charlestown Secondary School, there were two of us, the late Althea Wallace Daniel and myself, who went to Charlestown Secondary. From St. James, there were 3 students at that time. And so we are grateful that today there has been a change, and all children have the opportunity to have secondary education. That is something definitely that came about in 1988.
So the majority of students back then would have ended their stint in school at the
at perhaps grade 10. Some
yes.
went on to grade 7. Before my time, I know in my dad's time and mom's times, they did what was called the 7th standard examination. And I'm aware, because I still have the certificates at home,
Really?
Though both of them have passed,
Wow.
and they indicated that the certificates indicated that they were successful with those exams. However, from Combermere end, even though our students were not given that privilege to attend secondary education, the very first student in Nevis who passed it was then the GCE, the General Certificate of Education exam, passed at Combermere School under the tutelage of Mr. John Lee Cole, the then headmaster, and he was Mr. Roy Fortune. And it was really something to rejoice about, because even though he did not attend secondary school, he was able to pass those subjects.
And repeat that again. You say he was the first student in Nevis to achieve that feat?
I cannot say in Nevis, but for Combermere, Combermere School.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because then I was waiting, to hear, because then to underscore the point that you made, that many of the country schools because you had St. James, you had Combomere, and you had New River School.
That's correct.
Our persons back then weren't making it easily to secondary school.
Right.
But New River was an all-age school as well.
Yes.
And even though you had the school across in Gingerland, the senior school, not everybody went across there. And I mean, a lot of times it appears to me that back then it was a special favor that some people would have gotten to get across there. You know, but the point that you made there, and the point I really want to underscore, that even though we weren't getting the opportunity then to go to secondary school, the children from the country schools were excelling.
Definitely. There's
Oh,
no
excellent,
doubt
yes.
about that. And even when they got an opportunity to go abroad, they excelled once the opportunity arose. So it tells us that our people have always had the ability to do well when it comes to education and otherwise.
Any classmates you want to mention, Carmelita? And teachers, of course. Yes.
Well, my classmates, I can recall from the primary level, we had people like Jacqueline Boland Liebert, who now lives in Bedford in England. And there were many others. We had Mitchell Liebert and others. But I also want to mention from the primary level, we had teachers like Carmen Nolan Christopher, now deceased, and also the Honorable Farrell Smitten, retired. He was an excellent teacher. Also, Professor Whitman Brown, he also taught us at the Combomere School. And definitely, teachers work together to ensure that our people in our community, our students, excelled. There was that special touch for every student.
Yes. Okay, so that made it special, because I was just about to ask you, you know, in the eyes of a student, who is a special teacher? Yes. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
we can definitely say that.
Yes.
There were we had students of all types as is now. And we also know that as a teacher, when we touch the lives of students, many of them never forget. They never forget. Sometimes even here at home, when we are going to Charlestown, you might hear one of them saying, you remember this or you remember that. Sometimes we don't even remember. But they're always there to remind us.
Yes.
From the secondary level, we have my classmates. We had a class of 38 students in Form 1A1, and that was only in first form and in the 1A1 group, because we had the other groups as well. So in Nevis today, I want to say hello and good morning to my classmates then, Purcell Ferguson, Stutter Daniel, Eldina Farrell, Ornette Herbert, Colin Tyrrell, Evan Nisbet, Victor Carbon in St. Kitts, and the great Laureate Brand Willett.
The great Laureate Brand.
Okay.
Morning, Laureate.
Yes.
You had some good classmates.
Yes. So they go way back with you.
I wanted to inject there that it seems that students always remember their bad teachers, and the teachers remember their good students. Or is it the other way around?
Both.
Well, we would reminisce about. Remember, we are teaching people, and people have different personalities.
Yes.
And sometimes you can make your greatest impact on those who some persons might think as being bad, because sometimes they're just trying to reach out for someone to love them.
Yes, indeed.
So therefore, in light of that, I cannot say that you would regard anyone specifically. Yes, some are challenging. There would be those challenging ones, but I think we achieve our greatest moments when we reach those challenging students. And sometimes they would even say to you, boss, teacher, you know me all be like you trouble because but I didn't understand. Sometimes they don't understand, and you know, if we are not aware of these things, sometimes we miss some very important moments.
Yes, and to add to that, what you find happen, well, from my experience, interacting with some of my past students, some of them realized that they were tough to deal with.
Yes.
And they realize when you would have made a positive impact, even if it's to disciplining or whatever, but when you're able to jolt them out of that that difficult period, some of them look back and they tell you, boy, me thank you, me glad, because how me na go. If no be know you, one time you talk to me, or one time this or one time that, and if no be know you, may believe me, you reach a jail. That kind of thing. They admit that you have made that kind of impact, that difference in their life.
That is true.
Yes.
And I always have high respect and deep admiration for teachers who prefers to work with slow learning students and very challenging students,
And
because when they shine, boy, they shine.
they do.
Yeah, because in a real sense, working with those who are challenged, the slow ones, so to speak, they, to me, when you get them beyond the hurdle, when they achieve, the achievement is amplified, you know. Because the good student, they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it. You know, some of them just, and some of them maybe have persons who can support them. Some of these don't have no help. The only help they have is in the classroom. And when you work on them and you see them you see them excel, it is such a great achievement. I remember one time I heard I listened to a teacher and spoke of her experience, and she spoke about a particular child, and she was able to say how much words this child was able to learn in the first term and in the second term, and so on and so on. She was able to pinpoint the achievement, step-by-step achievement of this child. I mean, it makes a difference, both to teacher and student.
That's true.
Were you inspired while you were a student, Emily, to become a teacher?
Well, as far as I can recall, and I've thought about it many times, when it comes to being a teacher, I always wanted to be one of two things. One, it would either have been a teacher or an airline hostess.
Wow.
Those were the two things I honestly wanted to become.
Okay.
Flying high, and until today I still like traveling.
Why an airline hostess though? What was
Because
appealing?
I remember the first time I flew on Liat from St. Kitts to Nevis. No, from Nevis to St. Kitts. That was when Liat used to come to our airport. And I saw the way how the professionalism in the air hostesses, I just wanted to be like one of them. And I love traveling as well too. And by the way, I forgot to say hello to my friends Marita Pogson and Lorna Sadler. They are also here at home.
Okay. And you want to mention your children and your loving husband from Gingerland at the same time?
Yes.
Not only Gingerland, no.
Yeah.
Harris and Websgum.
Exactly. Because you are one of us by connection and adoption.
Yes, sir, very much so, yes. Yes, I've had 42 years with my husband, Spencer Elliott.
Wow.
And our children, Nizra, Nikiva, and Alkim,
Yes.
and the grandchildren. And Shefton, as you spoke about having an impact, I remember one time I was at home, and it keeps coming up. And I said to one of the boys, Nalkim in particular, I said, listen to me, do not assume. He said, Mr. Shefton Leiber told us in school, do not assume anything. Because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And he would always say that. So he said, do not assume anything.
Assumption.
Mr. Leiber said, do not assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
Tell your
I
girl-
remember. I have used that.
Yes,
Indeed. I've still lived that. Yeah.
Tell your, was it your son you said, Mr.
Yes, Mr. Leiber taught him.
Tell your son that Mr. Liebert has amplified that. He's about 12 times as bad as he was when he was a student.
Well, I cannot sanction that with you because I've worked with him as an education officer. We shared the same room space. And we worked well together. We've never had any problems. Also, as members of our church, the Methodist Church, we share many things in common. So, if he has amplified, I believe he has amplified for the better.
Well, I think that he left his best behavior for you guys, and then when he comes with Chesley and me, he just pulls out all the bad that he ever imagined.
Yeah. But we could deal with it.
You see, birds of a feather
can
flock
take it.
Ah, there you go. There you go. You couldn't put it better.
Yes.
You couldn't have better said.
Okay. Yes. How did it begin for you in your teaching career, though? How did you get started?
Well, I got started on the 22nd of November, 1977. I started at the St. James Primary School. It was the old Whitehall School then. And after leaving there, then I went to St. Thomas's Primary, then back to St. James, and then back to St. Thomas's. And then I went on to the Charlestown Girls' School. From Charlestown Girls' School, I went to the old Combermere School. Then that was followed by VOJN Primary. So I've spent in the classroom, there were 26 years in the classroom as a primary school teacher. I taught all from grades 1 to 5. I never had the opportunity to teach grade 6, but from 1 to 5, I taught all the grades. And then we went on from there, from primary school. I was transferred. No, before I was transferred, I attended the University of the West Indies, and I obtained my bachelor's degree in educational leadership. When I returned, then I was placed at VOJN as a head teacher for 9 years before being transferred to the education department as education officer, responsible for, I worked with the teachers at the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School, Charlestown Primary School, and also St. Thomas's Primary Schools, where I developed many years, many memorable years with teachers and students.
Okay. All right. Now, your early days in the classroom, how was it, though? How did you feel? How large was your first class that you had?
My first class, I do not recall the exact number, but you mean in terms of being a student or a teacher?
Well, as a teacher.
As a teacher, yes. I was stationed at St. James under the supervision of Mrs. Estanella Hobson West, known to many of us as Steffi.
Okay.
And she was the one who guided me. For the first perhaps 2-3 weeks, I actually did not teach. I was there to observe and, do some of the minor things along with helping the children and observing how they behaved and that type of thing. So then we had teachers who were there to guide you. And that happened, over the years, and we still did it when I went on to the other schools. I can remember my first teacher was Mr. Franklin Brown, and then we had Mr. Auburn Lawrence. I worked with him both at St. Thomas's and also at the Combermere School. Miss Butler, she was the head at the Charlestown Girls' School. So, I've had a good time. And, my colleagues, we've developed lifelong relationships. Well, up to this day, some of us who are now retired, what we normally do, we go out on some field trips. Up to this past week, some of us went to Palm Gardens, and some of us went to Yellow's Pineapple Farm in St. Kitts.
Wow.
So we have a wonderful time. We've also visited the Vanilla Farm and other places of interest where we think that we should know, because we don't think persons should be visiting Nevis and know about Nevis, and we who are here do not know. So therefore, that's how we do it. We go together and we have a wonderful time, whether we have lunch or whatever else.
Chester was trying to extract from you the number of the students in your first class.
The number of students in the first class, I really do not recall, but it could have been anywhere in the region of 20, because classes were much larger then.
Yes.
It could have been anywhere in that region, but I cannot say the exact number. I can't recall.
You moved from one school to another. How was it getting around, though? How did you get around?
When I started teaching at Whitehall, I had to walk from Mount Lily to Campsgate, and Mr. Franklin Brown, he was so generous with us. He took us to school without having to pay. I remember Louise Maynard James, myself, was Farrell Smithan. We all journeyed to St. James. Sometimes we had to walk, sometimes the teachers had to go out on various things and we would walk. But we enjoyed it because while walking through the villages, we would meet parents. And also the same thing for St. Thomas's. Sometimes, the bus or the truck might not be available and you walk until you get a lift. Yes.
Go ahead.
On that same point of moving from one school to another, what impact did it have on you? How did you feel when you had to be moved from one school to another school?
Well, I must tell you, after settling down in one school, you feel so comfortable. It's not always a nice feeling to know that you're being transferred, but then we had to realize at that time, where the opportunity arose, you had to go.
Okay.
You had to go because at that time, most persons, I would have started teaching before November 1977, but I was offered a job in St. Kitts, and I didn't have any relatives in St. Kitts who I was aware of at that time to stay with. So my grandmother said, oh no, not St. Kitts because
That's too much.
so yes, that was the situation then. But we've developed many lifelong relationships as teachers, and on to this day, people like Janice Whitaker Richards, I taught her at St. James. And she would always remember when I was teaching, because I happen to be one of those persons who I like to be lively when it comes to students. And so she would always say, Teacher Amlita, Miss Elliott, remember when you used to dance? You used to dance? But maybe at that time I couldn't dance according to what the young people could have danced, but I guess they would have a good laugh. Yes.
Just yesterday I had a chat with a relative of mine who is a teacher, who was talking about the very how should I say that, how teachers respond sometimes when they find that they've been asked to move from one class to the other. How is that for you? As you say, sometimes when you find yourself comfortable, you don't want to move, but you said you taught from grade 1 to grade 5.
Yes, that is true. It depended on the need of the school at the time. You had to move from one grade to another in the same school, or maybe when you went on to another school, there was another grade. But as I said, in those days, there were always the older teachers who supervised you and assisted you. And unto this day, people like Sherry Gage would tell me, you remember when you taught me this? I remember Heather Perkins, I would always remember, and Lydia Thompson Claxton. Those were some of the persons, who would always remind me. And once you hear, the thing about it, I knew where my students, even if I don't remember where I taught them, I knew the area they were from.
Yes.
If you hear Teacher Ermelita, it's from St. James or Combermere. If you hear Miss Elliott, Miss Jeffers, St. Thomas's or Charlestown Girls' School, and the others would be Teacher Elliott or Mrs. Elliott. So you would know students.
But what I meant was, how was it for you mentally or emotionally in terms of having to move from a class that you've already gotten comfortable with to move to another class, maybe in the same school or it doesn't matter?
Well, actually, after 2 years, when we received training at the St. Kitts Nevis Teachers Training College, these were some of the things that you were told, that you have to be adaptable, you have to be able to move. And even when you went into the school, the head teacher and the senior teachers would assist you and let you know, well, you're not here for this class only, because actually we are expected to assist with children I recall when we were at Combermere, we had teacher Lorraine A. Henry Brown, teacher Carmelita Neil Jones, and we shared kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 2 in the same space. So we had to, when one teacher went out, the others had to fall in line and supervise. So in that way, we were able to gain experience and know, well, the infant section, the middle section of the school, or the grades 5 and 6, the older ones.
How was it as a head teacher, though, when you were placed at the helm for the first time? How was it? How did you feel?
All right. As a teacher, I must say, I became head teacher after the retirement of Mr. Anthony Jones. But having some experience as a teacher and working along with head teachers, also having been trained in educational leadership, I had some ideas as to how. So when I became a teacher, and there were some teachers who I worked with before, so they were able to assist me in terms of settling down and whatever other extracurricular activities there were, they would assist. So it was a challenging job, yes, but something once you put your mind to learning, and there were many hours that you had to put in extra beyond the classroom in order to plan and prepare. Preparation is essential when it comes to teaching.
Yes.
Anything that you're going to be doing in teaching, and as a matter of fact in life, we have to be prepared. So therefore, once we are prepared, whether it's for the academics, for sports, or whatever we are participating in, it's important that we prepare. So preparation was essential then. And also the Department of Education, they assisted by ensuring that they come over. I don't know if they are as frequent now as they were before, but definitely they used to come before. We had also the counselor from the department who visited. So we were able to settle in and, we were able to assist our children, because the overall objective is that we want our children in our various communities to excel.
So there wasn't the temptation to say, well, okay, I'm in charge now, so I don't need to hear from anybody else. I'll give all the shots.
That would be the greatest mistake any leader would make.
Just checking.
Any leader, you don't have to, whether you're a teacher, a minister of the gospel, any boss who would adopt that. There are times when you have to make certain decisions, but it's always in consultation with those who you're working with.
Exactly.
Because I find that once people know what you're about, you get them to move mountains.
Yes.
So,
And yes. And on that point, Melita, because the school is a community.
exactly.
And you have various personalities in there. And you have those who you would call the difficult ones. You have those who you call who don't care, who know really, and so on. But if you play your game right, those people who some of us would look at and say, boy, me no hard thing to do with, I anything to do with she. I mean, them so difficult and so on. Those people, once you deal with them, all right, it's amazing how you get them to cooperate.
That is true.
Yes, and sometimes take up the mantle of leadership. Yes.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, when it comes to, as you said, a community, we have the school, we have the parents, we have the education department, all of them we have to deal with. And therefore, we have to know how to do it.
Yes.
And as you said, some of those difficult parents, once you befriend them, and they understand that you have their children at heart,
yes.
you know, you would definitely be able to more or less convince them that the child is the one that we're trying to assist.
Yes.
And not to, because sometimes some people make a lot of noise and in the community, and they have the influencers. They're one strong parent, and that one parent, once going around, would be able to influence many if those persons are not able to think for themselves as they should. I find in life, when we are able to think for ourselves and
People can turn you and twist you.
exactly.
So you're saying, Ms. Elliott, that at your time, you had support from the community and from your fellow teachers as you excelled to head teacher, so you had support from all around, so it was very comfortable for you.
Yes, and I would say, now it's not everybody at every time who would be there to agree with you. But the thing that is important, once you maintain that level of responsibility and respect for those who you are working with, because sometimes some people would you would be tempted to say certain things, but you have to maintain that level of respect and knowing that, listen, this is for the good of our school. We are going to harm the school, or we are going to harm the community if we do this or that. So we work with them. I remember in 2008 when we had an elocution competition with all the schools in Nevis. And our school, VOJN, then, we participated. And I remember the entire staff was on board. Because now, sometimes when there are certain activities, certain teachers, you choose those or they volunteer to work with the children. But the entire school was on board. We had Nyante David. She was in grade 2 at the time. She had a poem to recite. There was Q-Etta Daniel. She was in grade 4 at the time. And Shadisia Allen. She was in grade 6. And when we entered, we said, we got to win this, man. We got to win this. And so we went in. And on the morning of the poem, it was down at the old Paramount Cinema. When Nyante finished reciting her poem, there was such a roar. I guess it may have motivated those who were in the back. Q-Etta Daniel went, and Q-Etta also made her presentation. And there was another roar. And then at grade 6, when we had Shadisia Allen reciting her poem, she also did a good job. Now it was to be the result. And from that, I wrote this poem, Independence 25 Elocution Victory. It's dedicated to Nyante David, Q-Etta Daniel, and Shadisia Allen. Independence 25 in Nevis had an elocution competition when all primary schools participated in the action. This was a moment in our history when each school would participate in 3 categories. VOJN Primary had Nyante David, Q-Etta Daniel, and Shadisia Allen. The objective was for each contestant to win. Parents rallied around the students' cause. It was real hard work preparing them without a pause. Finally came the day of the competition. The old cinema building was the venue for the action. Teachers encouraged all 3 not to relent, as a contingent of supporters would surely be present. Nyante David, contestant number 9, stepped onto the stage and had no fear. Her confidence level was high, and her distinct expressions were clear. When she finished, there was a tremendous applause. A stunning smile beamed across Nyante's face when she paused. Representing the middle school in grade 4 was Q-Etta. Her enunciation was perfect to the very letter. The approval for this contestant was even greater. Her performance made her the champion later. Finally, it was Shadisia's turn in grade 6. It was hoped she would give the other contestants licks. Forward she moved on that concrete stage and conveyed her message, having the audience fully engaged. Unofficial judging now followed as to who would win. The excited audience gazed at the trophies in waiting. It was perfect silence when the official judges came forward and spoke. VOJN won in each segment, and this was no joke. For all these electrifying, exhilarating moments, the triple blasts had been completed by our articulate students.
Okay. And we are these students now, do you encounter them still?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Whenever we need any assistance. As a matter of fact, up to last year, either last year or earlier this year, I encouraged Nayante to participate in a poetry competition that was being held by Gender Affairs, and she got first place.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And curator Daniel, I know she does her part. She plays her part at the St. Thomas's Primary School now. And Shadisi Allen in St. Kitts, she works in a hotel. So we follow up with our students.
And I suspect that you had a special moment of appreciation for these students when they came back to the school.
Of course,
yes.
Of course we did. And the community was there because everybody felt so good. I can call his name Mr. Gerald, Wilroy Gerald, our old compatriot. Mr. Gerald came up to see right there by the supermarket in Charlestown, the Williams supermarket, and he said, Mrs. Elliott, I know that you won the first two, the kindergarten one and the grade 3 and 4, but I ain't so sure about the grade 6. But anyway, you win.
That's Gerald.
That is Gerald.
Okay. All right. Okay. Amelita, we can pause here. We're gonna. Okay, Shefton, go ahead with that, and then we'll take some. Acknowledge some of our advertisers, Amelita, and then we'll be right back.
Let me take greetings and so on here. Helena Stevens was the first to comment on the board here. She says, good morning all. Good morning to you as well, my dear. Sydney Stapleton says, good morning, guys. Also want to say good morning to my mom, Mabel White, and my sister Diana. Gwen Williams. Good morning, Gwen. Gwen says, good morning all. Have a great weekend.
Morning, Gwen.
Cheryl Tyrrell says, good morning, guys. Also teacher Omelita.
Good morning.
Lucina Williams says, good morning. Ruth Martin says, morning to all. Happy birthday to my brother, Reverend Edmund Martin in New Jersey. He listens to this program every Saturday. Good morning, Rev.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Myrna Davis says, good morning, 2020 Vision Radio family. Blessed weekend to everyone and to you as well, Myrna. Vaden Jones says, morning.
Morning, Vaden, morning.
It was one of my students.
Yes, and he mentioned it in the next coming up soon. Brenda Lee Williams says, good morning to the good old days family and host. Good morning to you as well, Leona.
Morning, neighbor.
And Vaden Jones says, hi, teacher. I am pretty sure Miss Jeffers is my family. Good morning. Good morning.
That's true.
Teacher and family.
Agnola Martin is saying, good morning all. Happy birthday to my big brother, Reverend Edmund Martin in New Jersey. I think he was saying Red Nose, he listens to the program. Okay, lovely. Went too far. Earl Clark. Good morning to the good old days family. Special big up to teacher Omelita Elliott. Happy Teachers Month to her. Chesley and Shefton and all teachers. Thank you very much, sir. And to you as well. You're a teacher in your own right. Rhonda Brown is saying, good morning. Nola Martin says, good morning, teacher Omelita Elliott, a woman of integrity and dignity.
Indeed.
God's blessings. Indeed. Melissa Pemberton, he says, good morning. He's saying, good morning all. Good morning, my dear friend. How you doing? Teacher Melissa. Happy Teachers Month to you as well. Gwen Williams says, happy birthday in advance to my baby celebrating on Monday. That's Gina. Yes. Advance birthday to you, Gina, when it comes around. I'm seeing somebody here who is special to me. I don't want anybody to feel bad, but this one is special to me, very special to me. She says, good morning all, good morning Uncle Joe. Special good morning Melita Elliott from one poet to another. That's from Tamisha Sadler.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, let's get some video ad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Video.
Commercial and industrial wiring, data, security, UPS and generator installation. When you need electrical work done now, done right, done at an affordable price, contact Pinney's Electrical Company. Call or WhatsApp 665-1916 or email pico_1166@yahoo.com. Pico, the way to go.
Okay.
Let TDC Financial Services help you go for your goals. Whether you're thinking of taking that grand vacation, down payment on a house, higher education, TDC Financial Services has various plans that will allow you to go for your goals. The Accumulator Plus. Choose your payment plan and earn as your money grows. Start with as little as $100 and choose the payment terms suitable to your needs. Investment Starter Plan. A long-term plan that will allow you to make that big investment when you're ready. Fixed deposit. You can fix your investments at various terms. Earn on your money when it matures. Ready to go for your goals? Visit us at TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
On your own, ooh yeah. Build your future today. Let Own Mortgage show you the way. On your own, your family, your home, build it with pride. National Bank is right here by your side. With every step, with every loan. National Bank helps you find your own. Ooh yeah. Build your future today. Let Own Mortgage show you the way. On your own.
All right, and we are back, and just want to remind you that you are in tune to the good old days here on 2020 Vision Radio. And today our very special guest is Mrs. Melita Elliott, retired educator and published author. And she read a poem from her book, and a little later we're going to get back into this wonderful work that she has published. All right. Now the lines are open, and you can give us a call, and you can interact here with our guests. 469-7953, 669-7312.
Maybe
okay.
we have
Yes.
some of Melita's, of course, I believe we have many of our students listening.
Right.
They might want to say a couple of words to her.
Right. So she would love to hear your voice. Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, let me take this additional comment that came in just now. This one comes from Sandra David. He says, good morning all, especially teacher Melita M. Elliott.
What's the M for?
Thank you.
The next name.
Mommy?
Melita, that M sounds very special, isn't it? But anyway.
Melita Maudina
Oh, my.
Wow.
Jeffers
Oh, I don't say so.
Elliott. Maudina came from my grandmother Maud Jeffers.
Oh, wow.
It's no wonder you're a poet. Your
Yes,
names
yes.
speak to your profession.
Yes.
Very unusual names.
And
Yes.
Shefton, as you are there congratulating and accepting calls, I'd like to say congratulations to the class of 2025 of the Nevis International Secondary School. I especially want to greet all the students. Rishon Weeks, he was valedictorian. Zachariah Pemberton, salutatorian. Ethan Woolard, Kanaimon Keynes,
Okay.
Zanny Moving Walters, and Kemari Wilkinson. Now, Kemari Wilkinson did an excellent job on his saxophone, playing the national anthem, and that's from our church band, the Combermere Methodist Symphonic Band.
Very good.
So congratulations to all our students, and in particular to Kemari. Thank you very much.
I was hearing of a duo there from Butlers, Amelita. Do you know of him? From that NISS, I think. I don't remember his first name right now.
Oh, Jaden Doe. Oh, he was our keynote speaker then.
Oh yes, that's
Jaden Doe, the grandson of William Doe, the postman.
That son? Not the Cox.
I'm not sure.
He was a student there.
He was a student.
Yes,
Yes, he was a keynote speaker.
Yes.
He was simply
Excellent.
calm, and he did a fantastic job
Wow.
encouraging the graduates and telling them, well, actually he just graduated from Columbia University in the States as well.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
he was encouraging them and saying, sometimes you may have talent, but along with talent comes grit and determination. You've just got to pursue your course. Yes, it was very good.
Consistency is important.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, Amelita, being a head teacher, okay, we know that it consumes a lot of energy and time. And, you know, how were you able to balance the family and work? Yes.
Well, I must say, when it comes to family and work, I must say my husband has been very supportive. Sometimes he used to come to the school to assist us to repair a door, to do something. Sometimes even to go to town and help us out with the family and so on. And I think that is where our Thursday soup came in, because he's famous for cooking soup on a Thursday. And I think it's the best soup.
Yes.
Definitely.
You know, and I can almost see him smiling with his cheeks, you know, lifting high in the air.
Yeah, but they were very supportive, to be honest.
Yeah.
And sometimes even what I find when it comes to teachers' children, sometimes even our own children would get left behind because of the amount of activities that we have to participate in. But, you know, with God all things are possible.
Yes.
And we persevere and continue. But yes, it was a challenging job, but something that I enjoyed. I enjoyed being a teacher in the school, and unto today. VOJ or St. James or any other school who asked me to assist, I use that as part of my community service.
Very good.
As a matter of fact, only a few days ago there was the elocution competition in Nevis, and the VOJ and student Carrie Daniel, good morning Carrie, perhaps you may be in church, but Carrie placed first in the individual section. Oh my, it was eloquence at its best.
Yes, good.
He's from the VOJ, you say?
That's correct.
Wonderful, wow.
And that made you extremely proud, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, when you were transferred to education department, education officer now, did you miss the school now because you had such great time in the school? Yes, did you? Did you miss being, like, you know?
Yes,
Yes,
actually,
yes.
I oppose the idea of going to the education department. In my opinion, I had just a few more years, about 4 or 5 years more to work. So I wanted to complete it at VOJN,
Yes.
but that was not the case, and I definitely had to go. And I did working with the various schools that also developed my camaraderie with the teachers in the schools, and so I was able to give assistance there. But it was not something that I was looking forward to, but it paid off.
Yes, okay. So bad wind never blow, right?
Bad wind never blows. Without a doubt, a bad
Yes.
wind never blows.
Yes. Okay.
Circumstances alter cases, huh?
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that high point there when you all walked away with the trophy for the elocution contest, Emelita. Any more high points that you may want to mention when you reflect on your teaching career?
Well, in
Yes.
my teaching career, I was able to, as a matter of fact, as education officer, I was the person who wrote the school song for the Nevis Academy, Education, Transformation and Equality at the Nevis Academy. I wrote their song and was assisted with the music by Lanny Doe. We had Jacob Gumber and the late Estella Blackett. Those were the persons, and we really had a good time together. Also, I happen to be among one of the first teachers at the primary level who pursued a degree in education. Because at that time, most teachers who pursued a degree were from the high schools. So I was saluted for that. And furthermore, as president of the Nevis Teachers Union from 2009 to 2013, we had people like Shefton Liebert, who was on our executive. We worked well together. And for that high point for the teaching one, we were able to get a piece of land from government which should be used to construct the Nevis Teachers Union headquarters. It's just close to the Social Security building. And for that, another high point was when I led a group of teachers to Cape Town, South Africa, at the Education International Congress, which was held there. It was really a wonderful time going to Africa. And we've always said, and we've always agreed, that if we think that Nevis doesn't have anything to offer, we make a mistake. There were places in South Africa that we saw, and I hardly think that we could have found any place in Nevis at that time like that. It was really a wonderful experience. So those are some, and the last one I want to mention is the impact that students would have had on my life in terms of being able to make certain decisions, and also the impact that I think that I might have had on many of them, in particular the slower ones, where they were able to achieve. I think when we see students who are successful, who have been challenged, they can't understand a concept and you have to go over and over. When they do see the light of day, it's really a moment to cherish.
Wow.
Yes.
And, well, we suspect that there was never a time when you said, why, I'm going to give teaching a break, Daddy, me going home.
I can't recall that moment. Yes, there were moments
Yes,
when you were tired, but I can't, in terms of giving up, I can't really recall the time when I wanted to finish with teaching before my time actually came to retire. I don't really recall that time. I really love teaching, and I also love the holidays.
Yes, wonderful. Boy, and nothing can compensate for that. Why? Yes, okay,
which one of the holidays you preferred?
Of course, summer.
Okay, well, we're going to throw out a question, we know that you have been following, and so, every Saturday we try to give away some little thing. Granny said you must always give out some little thing, yes. Some little thing. Okay, and so we are asking this question: in what year did teacher Melita begin her teaching career? In what year did teacher Melita began her teaching career? Okay, did teacher Melita begin her teaching career? I have to make sure I have the English right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the question again: in what year did teacher Melita begin her teaching career? All right, and you can call 469-57953, 669-7312, and you can win a token, compliments the good old days here this morning.
Okay, let me take these two comments. Simelita Jeffers says, good morning, good old days, folks and guests. Mrs. Elliott, a pleasant good morning. Good morning to all. And then there's Alicia Rollins, who says, good morning to all.
Good morning.
Right, wonderful. Okay, now, was retirement, the point of retirement, was it an emotional moment? How was it? When you said, boy, next week is my last week. How was it for you?
Well, for me, my mind was made up, and I've always encouraged persons who are retiring to have something positive. If you have made a contribution, a positive contribution to whatever work you do, I think looking forward to retirement is something that you should look forward to positively. I've known of instances when some people perhaps are not so very happy, but then that's where plan comes in. You've got to plan. Because I did not plan to go home and sit down. Of course not. You've got to have something in mind that you would like to do.
Okay, stick a pen here. We'll take this call.
Good morning, caller. You're on the good old days.
Yes, good morning to the good old days. The answer is 1977.
You heard the answer. Can you confirm?
Speak up.
Speak a little louder, please, caller.
1977.
1977.
That's correct.
Yes, yes.
All right. Teacher Melita said that you are on target, right? You are correct.
Yes, good morning, Amelita.
Yes.
Good morning, good morning.
Okay. Yes. You know, and you can tell her who you are. You know, I think she would love to know who you are.
She didn't recognize your voice.
Well, I'm happy. But my number is 6698004.
Now, can you start on a bit, please? 66.
6698004.
Teacher Amelita want to know your name.
I'll tell her off here.
You tell her off here?
Okay. All right. Okay.
The general public wants to know who's the winner. We want to know, please, your name. Tell us your name.
She gone.
She gone.
Teacher Amelita is a name that we don't call in the studio.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Somebody. Okay. So,
I'm not gonna say who you be. No, you know that?
yes.
Me not gonna say, me not listen to this voice so familiar. Me not gonna say who it be neither, but
she self.
But me you want just say good morning, Maureen Webb. How you doing? I wouldn't say who it is. But I'll just tell my good friend Maureen good morning.
Chesley?
Yes.
Nobody join shift and call Maureen name one.
Yes.
Let you make out the voice, because the voice is so familiar.
She's one of the group who
Yes.
who goes out
Yes.
as retiree.
Yeah.
She's one of our retirees group with a cruising or whatever.
Okay. So, Amelita, you were saying that retirement is a moment to look forward to because there's so many things that you can do.
Definitely.
You know, outside of the active career that you would have had. Yes. So, where did you go? What were your plans?
Well, my plan actually was to go into farming. And so we operate, along with Spence and myself, we operate Jeff Ellie's farm in Mount Lily. Was fortunate to get a piece of land, so we have a passion fruit grove there, and also pineapples.
Wow.
Well, those pineapples came about due to the fact that there was a friend of mine in St. Kitts, one of our past villagers, Mr. David, and he sent over a dozen pineapple suckers to me, and he told me, give 6 to this particular person and the other 6 for you.
Wow.
Well, those 6 that I planted, they came, and we were able to reap pineapples, and that started a sort of motivation and love for pineapples. We planted some more. But last year, in August, the federal government had a plan which they implemented. They imported 150,000 pineapple suckers from Costa Rica, which they distributed to farmers. And I was fortunate to get some. And so presently, they are coming along nicely. The plan is that's why we went to St. Kitts this week. The plan is that, according to the permanent secretary, Miguel Fleming, he said that they are presently going to import they had 2 40-feet containers, and they're going to be importing some more as well because the demand has grown. Wow. And my good friend in St. Kitts, Mr. Leon Anthony, who is called Yellow, he planted 5,000 pineapple suckers, and that field is looking gorgeous.
Wonderful.
And then he, for sustainability that we talk about, he has planted in his field, we have rows of coconut trees. And pineapples and the coconut trees, they have a dual purpose. 1, they provide shade for the pineapples, and 2, they also provide him with an income when things get slow.
Oh, wow. Wow. So that's a plan. Okay.
That's a sound plan. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And I think I've heard you're growing some wonderful sorrel as well.
Yes, we were able to grow some sorrel over the past couple of years, but last year we didn't go into the sorrel because there was an issue with some insects and so on, and then I was not feeling 100%, so Spencer's focus was more on ensuring that I got better, and so we were not able. And then this year we had an issue with not being able to get some sorrel seeds, so we don't have any sorrel at this time, but we would normally have had for Christmas.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Those monkeys don't bother you?
I was just going to ask her that.
No, we don't have that issue with the monkey because from the start, I told my husband, listen, I am not going to help you do any farming unless we get the solar fencing.
Yes.
So the monkeys, well, we've had a visit by one or two when they came in, but apparently they have their way of conversing with each other. And so after he got out and got stung by the wire, it seemed as though the message was carried, but they would come all around the perimeter.
They're not coming in.
But they won't come in
Yeah, they
because
come-
we
they
try
come
to
work
keep the perimeter clear so that they don't. But apparently they have worked out that, boss, I can get in,
They
but
can
it's a
get
matter
out.
of getting out.
I like that.
Okay.
Because you have any trees close enough by?
Well,
They can leap far, eh?
They can leap far,
Uh-huh.
but when you leap far and you drop, it's a matter of leaping high
Back
up.
up, yes.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Yes.
So they are all around. We know they are all around, and they
man.
pay the visits, and they seem to know exactly when. Sometimes even when we're there, they would come around, and you hear the one at the top would send out a message to the others, and you realize the others are there, and everybody try and stay far. But we don't have that problem, thank God, as the old people say.
Well, I want to applaud you, and I hope that you are willing to share the technology that you have used to keep them at bay, because that is just yesterday I heard somebody complaining profusely about their problem with the monkeys on their farm.
Yes.
So
Okay. Emelita, well, on June 22nd, 2019. Okay, many of us were with you at the community center there. Right? Remember?
Franklin Brown.
Brown Community Center. All right.
Yes.
It was a great moment for you. You want to talk about that moment?
Oh yes,
Yes,
that
yes.
moment came about due to the fact when I was in the classroom, especially at the primary schools, there were times when we wanted to ensure that a concept is understood by children, and we just couldn't find anything local that could, help them. So that is where I started composing social studies. I started composing poems and teaching them as well. And some of the poems that I have lost, but then over a period of time I said, okay, let me put them together, and being encouraged by persons, because I would normally perform in the church, I would perform for poets in the square now, and other places, wherever an opportunity. Sometimes annually we would go to the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, and our partner, the late Walter Morton, bless his soul, he would sometimes be there, and other poets from Nevis would go down and we perform. So that was where this book, Reflections, the title Reflections is actually because, these were things that were put together over a period of time, and after, upon retirement coming near, I said, okay, let me put them together. So that is where the book came along, and hopefully one of these days I'll publish another one. And Chesley, I do hope by that time you'll be ready to publish yours.
Okay.
that's a nice shot,
Yes.
Mr. Elliott.
Yes,
Nice shot.
thank
I
you.
like that.
Yes. All right. And so on June 22nd, 2019, you had your launch, right? And I can recall that it was like a community event. you brought out the community, and then you had students there as well doing different things for you, which
Yes, that is true.
yes.
My past students, they came out because I believe in sharing with the community. There's no one person who could actually cause that to happen. I couldn't do it by myself. The community had a very great impact on me. And so people from the community, we invited them, and for some reason everybody seemed to have been very excited. And one of the highlights of that, apart from launching the book, was remember I told you that we won in 2008, we won the elocution at VOJN. And every single day that Nyante David spent at VOJN, she would come in the office, because at that time, one trophy was given to the school for winning each segment.
Yes.
And Nyante would come in, look up in the cupboard where the trophies are, and he said, Teacher Elliott, that trophy is my trophy. That is my trophy. And I always remembered, because she felt that she should have had that trophy to take home with her. So upon the launch of this book, I decided to reward all three, Nyante, Kiweta, and Shadisia, by presenting them a trophy as part of the activity. And we also had our other past students participating in the activity, and it was well received, I should say.
Yes, definitely. All right. Now, in your acknowledgements, you mentioned some educators here, Miss Violet O. Jeffers Nichols.
Oh, yes.
Anything you want to say about her?
Yes, Mrs. Nichols, also Marian Jeffers, and Lorna Tanley. These were persons who helped with the editing, and so to them I had to applaud, and unto today, Mrs. Nichols can't wait, because her idea is that I should publish a book with local remedies and use of local medication, which I haven't done up to this point. But good morning, Teacher Violet. Good morning, Harriet. Yes.
Okay. All right. So your book is entitled Reflections, A Journey to Retirement.
That's correct.
Wow. Wonderful accomplishment. Okay. All right. So what can we find in the book, though? How is the... Yes.
Oh, in this book you'd find, we have reflections where I reflected about the activities in the church, patriotism, religion, tributes to some of my past colleagues, education. We have the limericks. I'm sure some persons will remember learning limericks. Nature's voice, graduation, harvest and extravaganza, and also secular and life's battles. Like when we had the Asian tragedy, when the tsunami, came. So various things we had. And then, the phones, our phones, well, I'm sure many persons would have heard me recite a Pandem phone with a gemology in Nivision dialect.
Yes, everyone hear it again, because some haven't heard it. And when I was coming down this morning, a girl was signing up by the bus stop. The bus was coming, and sometimes people is so much on the phone that they forget that they're supposed to put out their hand and indicate that they want the bus. So the bus almost passed her, and then it's when she looked up from her phone and put out her hand, right? Yes. Okay, and then the poem came to me. Pandem phone.
Okay, Pandem phone, you see, because evening, no matter where you go, sometimes we start from the top. The politicians in the house, they are on their phones. You go to church, people are on their phones. So I decided to name it Pandem phone. Nowadays, wherever you go, no matter what you do, people simply always Pandem phone. You go in at the school, teachers Pandem phone, politicians in the house, and then Pandem phone. Lord, wherever you're there, no matter what you say, people simply always Pandem phone. The pastor preach, members Pandem phone. Lawyers can't reach clients cause them Pandem phone. People not check out the traffic, crossing the road with a racket. carrying a real heavy packet and them pan them phone. Something happened in the school, students pan them phone. Parents abusing the principal, pan them phone. Now wait to find out how story go, whether it is true or it is not so. Some even want to give a blow, even when them pan them phone. You depend the ferry, people pan them phone. Home they listening to the TV, yet them pan them phone. Even in them exam, students cause distraction, make them get expulsion, cause them pan them phone. You traveling on the bus, drivers pan them phone, yes, going full speed and pan them phone. So now I wonder if this is a blunder. Technology causing we to go asunder. Husband and wife have little time for each other just because them pan them phone. So where's your real attention when you pan your phone? Cause them now a chase Pokemon, pan them phone. Is police paying attention to all the lawless action? There's just too much distraction when some people pan them phone.
Lovely. Okay. Why did you choose to use the dialect in this one here?
Well, actually, one morning I was going to St. Kitts on the then Carib surf. And when I looked around, I said, oh, me amo. Everybody pan them phone, only me one know they pan them phone. So that is where the thought came.
Yes,
So I started writing it right then and there, going across the waters. Everybody simply pan them phone.
And do you find that the dialect brought some drama and some,
Oh, yes.
and some energy into the...
And
yes.
especially when you
Yes.
involve the audience
Yes.
and you let them come in with that pan them
them
phone.
phone.
Because they could relate. When people can
Yes.
relate to things,
Yes.
you find they are
Yes.
more
Pan them forward.
appreciative.
Yes, and I remember you performed this at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, and you brought some. You had the drummers with you, right?
That's right.
Right.
yes.
Okay. All right. You want to tell us about that? Okay. I find that was very special. Yes.
You had done it at Poet in the Square
Yes.
as well?
Yes, we did it at Poets in the Square,
Uh-huh.
did it at CFBC, the annual Poetry Day. Yes. So what was the question again?
I was asking you about that moment when you bought the drums
Oh, yes,
along
yes.
with your,
Yeah, the
reciting.
drumology, you turned it into a drumology. Yes, so that was really appreciated, and
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and we try to do things a little differently sometimes as poets.
Yes.
I'm sure you can attest to that when we have a little, even at Poets in the Square, once you have something
Yes.
that the audience can relate to,
Yes, that
you
would be a
find
part,
they're
yes.
all part and parcel of it.
Yeah. And well, that should work well with the drum indeed, because it naturally lends itself to a kind of a rhythm.
Rhythm,
Yes, yes.
Which calls for practice. Yes, you have to practice with the drummer. The
Yes,
drummer just
yes, yes.
doesn't.
Yes. How can poetry do help a teacher do in presentation and so on? How?
Well, first of all,
Yes.
the teacher herself or himself has to have a liking for poetry, because it's not everyone who loves poetry or everyone who appreciates poetry. You have to read the poem before, and also being able to acknowledge whatever you want to bring out, whether it's the parts of speech or the comprehension of the poem. We have to always remember that. But I find some teachers, they do use poetry in school. They do. And you have to be able to analyze what the poem is saying. Even as you go up into high school, you have to be able to use the analysis.
And well, with that analyzing of what the poem is saying, I believe that, well, from my experience as a primary teacher, I believe when they get up into high school, they will be able to handle it better if we introduce it down there.
Yeah.
I mean, from as far down as kindergarten.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You do a poem with them, and you get them to give their interpretation of what the poem is saying.
Yes.
Yes. That is true.
Well, Amelita, you paid tribute to some unsung heroes. And on the good old days, we love to celebrate our unsung heroes. And one such is a tribute to Pastor Eversley Pemberton.
Yes.
Yes, and he has been in the vineyard for a long time.
Yes. And
Okay, yes.
when I asked his permission to write the poem about him, he gladly agreed. So he was always.
He gladly agreed.
He gladly agreed.
I'm surprised.
Oh well, surprises are good, you know.
I know because in my opinion, Pastor Evans is such a humble person. You know, I'm quite surprised that he agreed readily to speak about him. That's what I meant.
Yeah, because just as the poem said in the first line, a man of dignity, courage, and humility,
yes,
walked daily among us so peaceful and lowly. As pastor and overseer, he showed commitment and dedication. His purpose was to see his people receive salvation. The New Testament Church of God in Fountain was his very first mission. That must have been a serious decision. The harvest was ripe, but the reapers were few. He put his hands to the plow as there was much work to do. Members in Charlestown, he also served well, encouraged people to stay out of hell. Pastor Eversley Pemberton, you stood the test, giving 40 years of service to God. We salute you for doing your best. That was on the 40th anniversary.
Wow.
Yes.
So now he passed that.
That's right.
Yeah. 50, okay. Good.
Yes.
Maybe heading for 50 now.
Close to 50.
Close to 50 now.
Let me just take these couple comments.
Yes.
Let me see if one go up there. Okay, no, I did that already. Angelica Brown says, good morning all, and a special good morning to Sister Milita M. Elliott. I see somebody says, Jetzel Barton.
Jetzel Barton, that was my classmate. She's in the U.S.
Oh, she says, good morning, Milita. Okay, so you're far people is listening to Rabbi? All over the world, you know. All over the world, people connect us. So.
Yeah, because divisions are all over the world.
Oh, yes. Agnola Martin says, I like that poem. Pan them phone. So true. Well, yeah, people always pan them phone, true. Yes.
Just to inject here, it was it on our program with Janet Gwell Hull some time ago. She mentioned that netballers go on the court with their phone in their hand.
Yes.
And she had asked her what they're going to catch the ball with. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Okay. All right. Now, it's good when teacher can pay tribute to teacher. You paid tribute to Donna Brown.
Oh, yes.
Paid 32, yes.
Yes, Donna, we worked together well as colleagues in the Teachers Union. She was my deputy at VOJN, and unto this day we have an excellent relationship. Good morning, Donna, because I did tell her that I would be on here, so I would hope that she was able. Yes.
Paid 32. Yes.
Yes, so
Okay.
these are the things that I do. Yeah, Donna being a dedicated and dynamic person, very observant, she's never yielding, and she's naturally nice and authentic. That's Donna.
Yes, wow, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Any other poems that you want to share that you feel?
Oh yes, well, we had, everybody, many persons would know the story of the prodigal son in the New Testament. And this was from a sermon that was preached by one of our ministers. So it's entitled, The Request, the Report, the Return. The prodigal son, he made a request. It seemed as though he meant to put his dad to a test. Now, Dad, I'd like to get all of my own. I'll go into our far country to have some seeds sown. Father thought in his mind, but didn't say no. The inexperienced young lad got ready to go. He left with such happiness there was no way to tell that one day his life would reach near the gates of hell. Friends all around him with money to spend never thought that on one day on swine food he would depend. With money now finished, all his friends disappeared. His report now suggested that nobody cared. Sitting in the pigsty, he envied the pigs, for into coconut husks he began to dig. He thought to himself, man, this shouldn't be me. Dad has food in abundance. I'm going home to see. The decision was made slowly, but with some wisdom. He returned straight home to his father's kingdom. While the young man was still a long distance away, Dad looked and shouted, I glimpsed my son coming this way. The son inched home and had a sincere apology. Boy, look, said Dad, you're the one I'm so pleased to see. Servants, bring the fattest calf from over in the pasture. Let's celebrate and have a party in splendor. Forgiven, the son could hardly believe that such a rapturous welcome he would receive. His bruised, tired feet now had new shoes on. His robe and ring were the best in the land. Come, my dear son, I'm so glad you are here. I certainly missed you, and I honestly care. What great love this father had for his son. Imagine God's eternal love for everyone. The prostitutes, liars, thieves, and drug addicts, the drunkards, the terrorists, and the boastful with bad habits. His encompassing love showers down on us all. We just have to repent and answer his call.
Wonderful. So
Yes.
you used
Wonderful
the poem.
sermon.
you-
Wonderful
when you-
sermon.
When you preach the sermon that Sunday, you used that. Was the poem that you used?
Well, I must say sometimes I do. Sometimes, when, for some reason, I think people appreciate poem once it's done in that dramatic fashion. Some people are not as dramatic, but the message
Yes, it's there.
that one gets
Definitely.
is there. So we have to be prepared, to ensure that our audience is in tune to us. Because sometimes when some people get bored, you have to know how to lively up the situation.
Well, we heard about teacher Amelita, or Amelita the teacher, but we never heard about Amelita the preacher.
Yes.
Oh, well, I do play an active role in the church because God has been so good to me.
Amen.
There is no doubt, coming from where we've come from in those days until now, He's blessed us and blessed us and blessed us again.
Tremendous, yes,
We
tremendous.
can't think of one move without Him, and for that I'm glad to tell His blessings all around me
Amen.
and around us.
Okay, well, somebody answered, but I'm going to read it. Burl B. Jones.
Oh, you Burl, another
Burl
student.
B.J. Jones. He says, good morning. Can we say this is Amelita? Okay, can we say this is Amelita Jeffers from Mount Lily? I'm here in Elliot. I apologize. Can you clarify for me, please? You don't need to apologize. It's the same person. The same very person. But Lynette Farrell answered before I got to share it. She says, yes, she is married, thus the Elliot. Yes, the same Amelita Jeffers. Oh, you started, you weren't there from the beginning, because she said all that when she was introducing herself. Yes. But yes, it's always good to ask. Well, I mean, not that I'm calling you one, but you shouldn't apologize for asking your question, because my dear mother now gone to her great rest. She used to say, fools ask questions to be made wise. Mind me not say you're one. What questions have they place? Jetzel Barton says, Amelita, we met at age 11 at CSS on the playground and have been close friends ever since. Yeah. Agnola Martin is commenting, and she says, first time I'm hearing this poem about Pastor Eversley Pemberton. Sorry, You did not include he started at Jessup's New Testament Church of God. Not too late, though.
Thanks very much. I'll definitely make that correction.
Oh, we have a call. Good morning, caller. You're on the good old days. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to all of you guys there and the precious lady.
Good morning.
This is Burl Jones, Mrs. Elliott. If that's what I gotta say, or do I say Mrs. I'm beside myself. But I just want to say it was a good thing that I was on my phone this morning.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I like that caller. I like that. Hey, go ahead.
It's no more transistor radios. Praise God for these smartphones.
Yes.
I do agree with you, Burl. I do agree with you. They all have their time and place.
The reason why I'm calling is because I'm going to put it to the guys in the studio. They don't really know who I am, but I call because now I got somebody in the studio who know who I am, and you can let these fellas know who I am.
We know now.
I'm going to put it out. I'm going to put it out there.
Yes,
Miss-
Burl Jones from the St. Thomas's
Yes,
Primary
yes.
School, a very smart
You're
guy.
ready? Yes. Let them know. Let them know. And I'm going to thank you very much. It's only two things the girls them could have maybe beat me in school was possibly when that spelling bee came up and that penmanship. But when it comes to my schoolwork, they could not stop me.
Okay.
I came in. I'm the number one guy going to Charlestown High School from St. Thomas's Elementary School.
Congratulations,
And that's where I
Burl.
put.
We remember
That's
those
where.
days.
That's where I put up on those guys, Mark Brantley and Dwight Cozy and Giselle Clark and all those other people, Jesse Lawrence, all those people who was such a group going into CSS at that time when we was 12 years old. And I'm going to put it out there. The person in the studio right now was responsible for shaping me as a man. She is one of the best teachers that I ever had. And I'm going to throw in Andrea Busu. I'm going to throw in Andrea Busu, and we can't forget Ashley Farrell and Teacher Carmen. These persons are persons in Nevis, in the Federation, that needs that recognition. And Hermelita, is really nice hearing your voice this morning.
Thank
I
you,
want
Burl.
to say to you, you got a great collection of poems, and I'm going to keep staying on my phone.
Thank you very much, Burl.
Yeah, nice. I mentioned you on Andrea Busu's name recently because when they was over there naming that school after Douglas and St. Kitts, you and Andrea Busu and so many more of you needs to get that recognition. And I hope one day you will get that recognition too. And I love you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
Well,
And
Burl,
one of my best teachers.
I'm telling you the truth. Just hearing your voice, that is enough recognition for me at this point in time. I am elated to hear your voice.
This is why I had to call.
Yes.
And these guys, they've been hearing me calling
But
and making some great points.
that is true. Yes.
But once I heard you, I heard Elliot, but I know this voice sounded familiar, and I know it was the same person.
Yes.
And I had to really get in. This morning. And I want to say again, I love you, and enjoy the rest of the program, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you much,
for calling.
and thank you for being on your phone.
Okay, bye.
That good thing you on your phone.
All right, thanks, man.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, step on your phone. All right.
Agnola Martin says that is really Pastor Eversley Pemberton. Carl dropped too quick.
All right.
Yes.
Call us back.
I had to say one more thing.
Oh, you're still here. Okay.
All the way from North Carolina. I want to say one more thing. I'm calling all the way from North Carolina, just so you to know.
Okay.
All right, okay. You guys have a good day. Thank you.
You too, my brother.
Thank you for calling, brother. Step on your phone.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, man.
All right. Just to remind everyone that you're in tune to the good old days Today we are celebrating with teacher, retired educator, published author, Mrs. Emelita Elliott. Okay, and she's sharing with us on her journey through education and also through retirement.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
and so
good.
she's still very active, and she has given us much food for thought. And I think she's a motivation and an inspiration for us as we look towards leaving active service. Life goes on.
Definitely.
Yes,
Do we
definitely,
need to say Mrs. Amelita Jeffers Elliott so that persons don't be confused, Mrs. Elliott?
Oh yes, this is Armelita Jeffers Elliott. That's
All right.
correct.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I just want to introduce here Chesley. From the church's point of view, I know
Yes.
that we've had some criminal activities in recent times,
Yes.
which has affected the Combermere Methodist Church and also the Combermere Preschool with gun violence. And so our church is organizing a march and a rally which is entitled Say No to Crime and Violence. On Thursday, the 23rd of October, we're starting at 9 a.m. and it goes on until 11:30 a.m. from the Newcastle Police Station to the old Combermere School grounds. You see, this affected, actually, when the violence which affected the church, we were actually having Bible class at that time, and, some of the bullets came into the church, smashed the windows, some were lodged in the rafters of the church. With the school, preschool children,
Wow.
they were just about entering school around 8 a.m. So we are encouraging all those persons out there who are thinking of gun violence or any other type of violence. Please remember that our people are affected, even including your own family. So therefore, let us try and avoid such violence. So that is what this march is about, and we are inviting as many persons as possible to join us. We want the politicians, especially our representative, the Honorable Janice Daniel Hodge, and also the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, and all others to come and join us as we say no to crime and violence. This is not our way of life that we want to be. Not where we want to be, and it is not acceptable. So we do appreciate and crave your indulgence and come on out to rally with us.
Right. Wonderful. Okay, wonderful.
Yes, and we applaud that move.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Now there's a name here I see, right? As a title of one of your poems, Ernestine Alberta France.
Oh,
And it seems as though you have a special connection with the elderly. Yes. You want to tell us about, read the poem too, and you can tell us about it. It's on page 44.
okay. Ernestine Alberta France. You would know some of her children. She has 9 children. Jacqueline France, who works at the Combermere Health Center. That's one of her children. Nurse Sheila France as well, retired now.
Okay.
She is one of her children. We have Fernella Collins, and there are some others who she has. She actually will be celebrating, once the Lord spares her life, her 100th birthday
Wow.
next year on May 26th.
Wow.
So this was in celebration of her birthday some years ago, when she came down. She lives in New York, actually,
Yes.
with her daughter Jennifer, and so she came down, and this poem was composed in her honor. May 19th in 1926, a beautiful baby girl in Scarborough was born. She brought such joy to her mother on that Wednesday morn. Great things God has done, and Ernestine is still giving him the glory, as she is now celebrating and praising him now that she is 90. She was christened with the names Ernestine Alberta, and soon she was walking around as a toddler. Her mother, Ivor Wilkes, cared for her until she was 7, then died shortly after. Ernestine hopes to meet her in heaven. Having this tragedy so early in life, She was raised by her dad, Ebenezer, and Olga, his wife. These were days of fun with her siblings in Mount Lily, where they had to look after pigs, sheep, and cattle, which were plenty. Growing into childhood, she started her own family, having 9 children, the eldest being Carlisle, known as Pepsi, Shirley, Fernella, Sheila, Sylvester, Jennifer, Jacqueline, Laurel, and Dinzy would follow. Life was not easy, but Ernestine was a determined and diligent worker. Farming at Camps and the Nisbets provided the family with daily bread. Her breakfast menu included cow's milk, fried dumplings, and potatoes, and her famous corn porridge. Johnny cakes and eggs were the specialties for lunch, with a big jar of lemonade and some fruits for everybody on which to crunch. Education for Ernestine's children was a priority. Good manners and self-respect and humility. Combermere School could tell many tales. When you didn't do your domestic chores, then across she would sail. Ernestine was one of Camp's village sugar cake makers. She sold frozen joy and was also a baker. Ernestine believed in great entertainment, so she took the children to Peace Patch for Sunday night merriment. She gave care to some elderly people in her community. Some would remark, Marky Doris, Dummy James, and Cathy. Neighborhood children like Lisa and Kinky, and many more as her extended family. Her children and grandchildren had no choice when it came to worshiping God. She taught them to serve Him as Savior and Lord. Forget all excuses when it came to going to church. She set them the example and in front of them would march. Now residing in the United States with daughter from 1992, her children say she loves to dress with matching hat and shoes. She loves game shows when the time is right, as they give her much relaxation and delight. Ernestine is still in good health and moving around. She is counting her blessings from a mind that is sound. Today, we salute our 90-year-old Taurian queen. Our gratitude to you for the mother you have been. She's now a 99-year-old Taurian queen.
Excellent.
Yes.
And it ends with a little choral.
Oh yes, the children when we were celebrating with her, they sang, "Ma, oh Ma, you are simply the best. Today you are our honored guest. Because of you, our lives have been blessed. Ma, oh Ma, you are simply the best."
You know that song we said?
Well, the children sang it.
You could sing it?
I don't recall. I don't remember the tune.
Oh.
Yes. Well, I'm a little. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
No, me.
Chef, okay.
And well, this is testament to how she appreciates your publication. Agnola Martin says, I will sure purchase one of her books of poems, one of her book of poems on my next visit to Nevis.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and while we're at that, where can folks find your
We
books?
can get them on Amazon.
Amazon,
Yes, online.
and you can get a hard copy still, right?
You can get a, yes,
copy.
we do have hard copies.
Okay.
Every
Okay,
school,
what-
every school in Nevis has.
What should they look for, Miss Elliott, on Amazon?
Oh, Reflections: A Journey to Retirement by Ermelita Elliott.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, and we are hoping that as Ermelita shares some of her poems, that will be inspired to write little stories about our folks. Because look how Ermelita captured the life of Ernestine Alberta France just in a poem. All right, and as we reflect with her on her life, we see some real teaching moments. Talking about some teaching points, the cow's milk and so on, the fried dumpling,
Yes.
the potato, the porridge and so on. Okay, taking us back to how life was back
Well,
then.
actually,
Yes,
whenever
yes.
I'm writing tributes and so on, I would
Yes.
normally interview. Okay, like
Okay.
in this case, the children, they would give their reflections of what their mom used to be. Sometimes even when our ministers are preaching and I want to capture their sermons, I would normally make notes while the activity is going on. So in light of that, I would be able to recite a poem to you at the end of a sermon or at the end of an activity. That is something I think I'm blessed with.
I want to encourage Mrs. Elliott and others, poets and storytellers to use the technology that's available to us. Very often I find our people, myself included, we go to YouTube and we listen to all these stories, some fiction, some true, on YouTube and so on. And we are inspired and encouraged and learn a lot. But I believe that our people have a lot to offer. So I want to encourage us to post our poems and short stories also on YouTube that other persons can benefit.
And I do agree with you, Mr. Doa, because I think that Nevis has reached a stage where we can have a poets association formed, because there is so much talent among our older people and the younger people. So I would think that, if anyone is interested, we can definitely form an association.
Yes, because, Amelita, well, you spoke about Shefton, you didn't speak about Chesley, but, everything come out of Chesley mouth, you believe?
Yeah.
He has had Shefton and me, just scrambling in here many Saturdays. He comes in and said that he named say good morning.
I don't know who he named, no? His mother.
His mother, who was died many years ago. He comes in and convinces us that he had a conversation with her just before he left home.
Yeah.
And other stories that he tells, with such conviction, right? And I applaud, these kind of talents and abilities. And I believe that we should use, the forums that are available to us to inspire our young ones, of course, and of course the rest of the world, because we have a lot to offer. And I want to applaud you, Mrs. Elliott, for your book.
Thank you.
And for your ability to communicate with people, and also for your sojourn in teaching. And of course, we had a good example this morning when Boyle called in to say, well, she's my hero.
Yes.
And we ought to make an effort to applaud those persons that have impacted our lives over the years, whether it in school, in church, or in the community. Because too very often we wait until people are in their casket to say all kind of things. And I'm one person that normally, I really resent hearing people talking to people while in the casket. Because they actually talk to them directly as if they could hear, say, thank you for doing so and so for me. Thank you for this. You did that, and thank you. Well, they can't hear you, but Melita can hear you now, so thank you very much.
Yeah, well, that's actually something that I believe in, giving people their flowers while they're alive, because
well, yes, we say it all the time, but I'm not sure if it's been practiced.
Well, I try to practice it, I must admit, even
kudos to you.
With our children in our church, school, and so on. We try to practice it and try to encourage the young, because those are the ones who are today's future. So therefore, we have to try and encourage people, and it's something nice. It's really true that sometimes some people find it difficult to give compliments, but I think at the end of the day, everybody likes to be complimented when they do something that is good.
Yes.
Because we find no lack of finding faults when it comes to certain things. But in terms of compliments, I think we can practice it a lot more. And it helps. It helps the persons who one is complimented.
And
compliment you.
Think of the impact that it will have actually going on YouTube and hearing a voice that you actually can relate to.
That's true.
Sometimes you go and you hear all these voices and you listen to them, you're in tune. Nobody can get your attention because you're locked in and you don't know who's talking, you don't know what they're saying, you don't know whether what they're saying is true or not. But when you can relate to somebody, like the gentleman was able to listen to the radio this morning and say, well, I know that is her. Whether the name is correct or not, I know the voice is hers. Right? And it made a big difference. So I want to encourage us, yourself included, to use these platforms to reach out to people.
Yeah, and one of the things that I have discovered with the with the input with technology. I remember when Dr. Kennedy Simmons, our first Prime Minister, launched his book. I went to that launch. And one of the things he said, which makes life so much easier, he said he had the information for years and he wanted to write a book. Years upon years. And then finally, someone introduced him to someone in Canada. There's a company, or probably there are more than one. You just speak and they write the book for you, edit it and do everything. Well, that would cost some money. But maybe we should look towards something like that, because not every writing is very time consuming. And then you have to edit, but if you have something like that, that would help.
Well, some people definitely can talk better than they can write, right?
That's true.
So, some people are good at telling stories, like Chesley. Chesley can tell you a story any day.
Well, Chesley can do both.
I know he can do both, but I think he's better at telling stories. Anything Chesley tell you, you believe, and you run with it, right?
Yes, somebody had mentioned, sorry, when you finish.
So to use, I'm just saying, to use this ability to inspire people, I think it's a good thing.
Yes. Okay.
We had a call. Good morning, caller. You on the good old days?
So good morning, to everyone on the panel this morning.
Thank you.
I don't normally have this time on a Saturday morning to do this, but something happened this morning that steered me to this program. And Melita, I want to say to you, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You were my classmates in high school. I'm sure you remember that. And as I sat here and listened to you, I thought, I wish I could see Rosalie Andre's face right now.
All right.
When my dad, especially, was still alive, and Mom, they were regular listeners to this Good Old Days show. And you have inspired me so much in listening to how you've gone about doing what you've got to do. And like I said, I'm extremely proud of you. I didn't know you had this talent. And one of these days, when time permits, we'll have a personal chat. But it's been an excellent, excellent show. And like the young man said, a good thing I was on my phone this morning.
Well, you can also get a copy of a hard copy at only $40. I can deliver it to you today, tomorrow, Monday, whenever.
Any day.
Any day.
Okay.
But we definitely can talk.
A day next week.
You see a privilege you are just because you're a classmate. Thank you for calling, Gola. Thank you so much.
Awesome show, guys. I have to.
Thank you.
I have to get back on track and listening to the show more often.
Yes, you have to honor your late dad.
Quite happy.
Thank you so much.
I have not listened to the show in a long time, and I'm glad I was
on your phone.
On my phone this morning. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Yes, somebody had mentioned Peace Patch. A younger listener was talking about Peace Patch and entertainment. They want to make the connection between a Peace Patch and entertainment. Yes.
Well, according to what her children told me, there's this area in Liebert Hill Village. I don't know how many people know, how many persons know.
Oh, okay. Stick a pin in the Peace Patch.
Good morning, caller. Good old days.
Yes, Mrs. Elliott.
Mrs. Elliott.
Mrs. Elliott, how are you doing? Good morning.
Oh my, neighbor, good morning. How are you?
This is one of our disgusting classmates.
Oh,
Really?
Your student, Javel Cornelius. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, Javel, and hearing your voice makes me feel even better.
But I feel good. I blush. I hear your voice on the radio, and I say I got to find a number to call. Because I don't really listen to radio, no.
Okay.
Yeah, so. But I'm telling you.
You been on your phone?
I'm telling you. But anyway, lovely. And me here just say something about $40 today, tomorrow, next week. Me want my Monday.
Okay, I'll go to Fountain. Are you in Fountain? I'm coming to Fountain when I'm coming home.
I'm not in Fountain, but you can leave it by the shop. And thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
All right. Love you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
nice.
Love you too,
Thank you.
Jovel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Well, you know, when a student says to a teacher, love you, boy, you know, I think nothing beats that.
Nothing beats
Yes.
that.
Okay.
That's
Peace
true.
patch, Emily.
Yes, Peace Patch. In Liebert Hill, there's an area, as a matter of fact, it's close to the Rehoboth Church of God,
Yeah.
where Pastor David Jones, Teacher Marcella. On the other side, there was a house belonging to a gentleman by the name of Mr. Wallace. It's Wallace property, and there was a shop at the bottom, and I think there was some pigeon peas trees planted around, and that was an entertainment spot on a weekend in particular. So, Ernestine, according to her children, they said that Mama said, okay, are you want to go dance? Okay, there we go. And so she took them to Peace Patch. But when she was ready to go home, you better be ready, because when Sunday morning came, there is nothing, whether Peace Patch or not. You got to go in front of me to church, and not let me reach in the church before you either. So it was an entertainment spot where we had dance and so on.
Isn't it still?
No.
No, it's no longer there.
Or the PC them dead?
Yes,
PC
but
them
the
dread on?
property, yeah.
Oh dear.
Pigeon Peas Street not gonna last that long.
That long.
Well, they could have learned back some. After all.
Yes.
But I don't think the owners are no longer alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we've had a peace patch in our time too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we have, yes.
Yes.
Same peace patch.
I had a piece of peace patch, yes.
Same
Peace
Peace Patch.
Patch.
Oh, yes.
Well, I know where the area is, but
Yes.
I've never been there, but I've always heard about Peace
Yeah.
Peace
Patch.
patch,
Okay.
yes.
And sometimes when you pass and you look at the place, you say, "Hey, how much
Very
people
peace.
holding there?"
Just like in our schools, you want to wonder how did so many children hold in that classroom?
Yes.
That's true.
Yes, how would you convince someone who is about to leave school and thinking of a career path? How would you convince them to give teaching a try? What would you say to them?
Well, I've done that many times, and some persons have. And especially when I was education officer, when they wanted to make a career in teaching, and some children would tell you, well, I do not know how our teachers do it, but definitely I am not going to become a teacher. Whereas you have those who have already made up their minds, they want to become teachers.
Yes.
So you speak to them and you tell them both the good and the not so good experiences that we've had personally, and not only myself, but refer to others and let them know of the experience and the benefits of being in teaching.
Right.
Those who don't want to be in teaching are those who give a lot of trouble, no, Mr.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, it just depends, and sometimes it depends on the opportunity, because some people would go in. I remembered earlier this year I met a girl who said she went into teaching as far as she was concerned for 2 years, but she has been in there for over 15 years.
Yes.
So it just depends on the experiences that you've had. I mean, things have changed now when it comes to teaching. Teachers, we have to give them a lot of encouragement, and I want to send out that plea to my teaching colleagues. Hold on. I know that it's difficult, but once you're able to help a child or help children, it could make the difference for our country in particular. Because for me, I find myself being a patriot, and wherever I go, everybody will know I'm from St. Kitts and Nevis. And you don't talk about St. Kitts and you don't include Nevis, because you're having a problem there.
Yes.
Big time.
Because when we used to go to the Caribbean Union of Teachers meeting, sometimes those persons on the stage would forget that it's one federation, so you'd hear them talk about and St. Kitts, and I would stay behind there, St. Kitts and Nevis, please. And I remember Virginia Poet now, she's a minister in government in St. Lucia.
Oh, yeah.
She was making a presentation, and when I said that, she said, oh yes, oh my, yes, St. Kitts and Nevis. You can't say one without the other, and that's important, because even when our sports personalities go out there and they're being interviewed, One I had recently was where one of our sports personalities, she was being interviewed, and she kept referring to St. Kitts, and the interviewer kept on saying St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Kitts and Nevis, and she didn't pick up that they wanted her to be referring to our federation. So when we are sending out our people, they must know whatever differences we have at home, it's one federation, the federation of this beautiful country, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Well, we are going to send you over to St. Kitts to speak to some people over there who will remain nameless. Well, when we send you, we're going to tell you the names, but we're not going to say the names this morning.
Well, you can't. You're going to get to jail.
No. No, we're not going to jail.
Okay, all right.
But we're going to send you over to St. Kitts to speak to some people.
I don't have a problem in terms of recognizing that fact.
Good morning. You're on the good old days.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, Gwen.
To all. I'm listening, and Mrs. Elliott says that, for teachers they need encouragement. Joe, Ren,
Yes,
your Simone, after she left college, she was teaching. And she was teaching in the Bronx, and you always hear about the Bronx kids, how they are.
Rowdy.
She loves teaching. She loves it. But one day, she went to school, and in the class, this one student, whatever the subject was, he was, getting on and carrying on. And it's a good thing that another teacher was close by and saw the interaction between her and the student. And the student left and went home and brought his mother back. And without asking any questions, she was in on Gina. And she, being a little selfish, she started to cry. And she came home and she told me the story, and I talked to her. Anyway, she went back. And then just as my mother passed away, a couple of days after, she was in the class, and this one child, whatever was going on, he started telling her things about her grandmother, and that was it for her. She forgot about teaching. Yeah, she said, I can't do this anymore. And she just left, teaching. She informed them that she really cannot do this. But I think it depends on, the areas that you're in and the encouragement you get from, other teachers, as Mrs. Elliott was saying, that teachers were there to encourage her and, But it's a different environment here than in Nevis. So she just gave up on teaching, but she loves children. She loves to be. So what she do now in her off time, she would be with kids and she tutors kids and stuff like that. But she, I know teaching is a very difficult.
Very challenging, but very rewarding.
Yes, it is. It is. So, Mrs. Elliott, I don't know you personally, but I've heard of you. And now that you're retired and you're still in that, congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. And all, my cousin Chesley, you are. Anyway, I'm not gonna say this.
Thank you very much. Your kind words are so very much appreciated.
Yes.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Yes. And you, Joe. Okay, guys. Have a good day.
All right. I'll say what's on for another time.
Bye.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Gwen.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we are at the bottom of the hour, Melita.
Yes.
2 hours have flown by so fast. But then, there's a poem here. I think you may want to share it. Our duty to our nation. As we go into okay, page 4. Yes, yes.
Okay, just before I say that final poem, I'd like to greet all my colleagues at home and abroad, those from VOJN and all the other schools we have in Nevis. I would like to salute you all for this Teachers Month. Althea Jones, Earlene Maynard, Marcella Jones, Iditha Jones. We have those from St. James and St. Thomas's, Norleen, and many more. Barbara Hendrickson, good morning to you and on it. I do hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. So, colleagues, let us hold on, and we are going to assist wherever we can with our students. Our duty to our nation. To do our duty, every man, is the cry of citizens in this fair land. We have to preserve our independence by working hard and being a people with confidence. Children too have to learn in school. There is no reason to play the fool. With commitment and dedication, we can obtain valuable education. Adults too have to play their part by setting examples for our youth from the start. There should be no idling on the job each day. Hard work should be the hallmark of our people today. At work, employees should act professionally, not only when the boss is around and then pretend to be busy. Presence or absence of the boss, one is paid to do the job. Every minute that is wasted, our economy goes one step backward. For these years, we give thanks to the Almighty. Our country is making progress surely. Airport and seaport, country and town, even rebuilding the old treasury, which was burnt down.
Wonderful. Okay,
So,
good.
Have we got a call? Good morning, caller. You on Good Old Days?
Call has gone.
Okay, call us back very quickly if you want to say something on the program, please. We're just about out of time.
Yes. Okay.
Go ahead,
Well,
Chesley.
please do call back quickly. Okay. All right. And you remind us that all of us have a duty to our nation.
definitely.
And I think the teachers have been in the vanguard of that. That we are to do our best to build our nation. Okay. Each of us is an important building block. Okay. In the building process.
Okay, a couple of comments. Magnola Martin, she commented again. She said Dr. Whitman Brown from Butler's living here in St. Thomas writes poems as well. Yeah, he's a renowned author. Published time and time again. Agnola is also saying Ernestine France is the mother of my friend Fonella, and she told me Matron Paris was her mother's sister. Okay. Similarly to say yes, that was an action spot for dance back then. Peace Patch. And Burl says, Burl says, for all Mrs. Jeffers Elliott has said about the names St. Kitts and Nevis. Okay, let's take the call and I come back to that.
Morning, caller. You on the Good Old Days?
Neil, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Miss Elliott, I don't know if you would even remember me, but for a couple of years to be your next door neighbor. Me and your husband were friends. I don't know if you could pick up the voice. But in any case, I just wanted to say I'm a Charlestown child. But I see how you seem to be how you can vote me over there now. But oh God, so much on my head. I wanted to say, right? I wanted to ask you first up, when you say that you are able to sit down and listen to a sermon, and then at the end of that you could write a poem based on what I was saying, and you feel like that is something like some talent or something like that. I want to know, is it a talent or was it based on education? Does education have a point? Because listen, Chesley. Chesley will make you feel like you're a dummy, you know. But no, don't let him fool you. That's how one of the things he could fool you with. He's not. No. I'm gonna tell you a little story about teachers too. That's why one of the things I wanted to say. Let me. When I was in fourth grade, when I going into fifth, they demoted me, and I was so confused. I wanted to know why, because I got 100% almost everything. So how are you punishing me for being successful? Anyway, they told me once you do well in fifth or in grade 5, you will go up when you go in grade 6. So when time to go in grade 6, I sat down because I won every mark sheet coming out. Even I won every mark sheet when I was in grade 5. So you can't get no more successful than that. So when I turned to go to grade 6, I sat down in grade 6 and they were like, no, you're supposed to be over there. I said, no. You say if I do good, I'm going to be over here. So I'm sitting over here. I'm not going over there. And they had the meeting. They decided, okay, let him stay. I didn't even know at the time. The teacher kick up dust, says she don't want me in her class. I'm confusion and me and my family are confusion. But anyway, I went over there in grade 6 and you know, we a bunch of us were in tongue one day, and I felt so loved by this teacher who hated me, right? I was tempted to go into the drugstore, and I bought a little token of my appreciation. I went and I gave it to her, and lo and behold, that opened her heart to me, and I did not even know. Until one day I think she make a mistake, but she told my mother when she started to love me is when I gave her that little present that opened up. And up until today, me and that teacher, we all have a loving relationship, but I feel a special love for that teacher.
Obviously.
Even when I was in high school, you hear me? I come down the road, I said, man, help me with this, please. I hated maths. I didn't do maths after a while, and that woman guided me through maths up until maybe I think second form. I would come down by her every afternoon, and she would help me along and say, you need to practice. And lo and behold, she didn't have maths. You hear me?
Yes.
I didn't even know she didn't pass maths, but she was able to help me along with it. And as teachers, you know that's when you start to open a child's heart to you and to teaching. That woman taught everything: sexual energy, drugs, how to clean your house, how to make some lemonade.
Yes. Well, I'm so. Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that. At least there was one person who was able to turn your life, because all teachers are not the same. We all have different talents. But I'm so glad that you didn't give up either. That is the whole thing about grit and determination.
You didn't want to give up, ma'am. You felt a certain sort of how should I put it? Like you're disappointing her. You don't want to do that.
Right.
You know, and you did your best, whatever it was. Even running track and field, oh my God. Anyway, I'll let somebody else go.
Yes, well, I'm so happy to hear your voice, and I do hope that you've continued on in life. Perhaps you have children and you would be able to encourage someone else along the way. I'm sure listening to you this morning, you would have been...
It's really a lot. Where you wish you bad family for?
I wish you a bad man.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thanks for calling.
Tell your husband, hold it for me.
I will, God be my helper.
All right.
Yes, so as we close, I want to say, please remember to support us as we say no to crime and violence in our march and rally on Thursday, the 23rd of October, starting at Newcastle Police Station at 9 a.m. Do come along and lend your support, as we definitely believe that all of us would like to have a peaceful Nevis at all times.
Amen.
Amen.
Well,
let me just finish the comments and then we think. I was on one that, well, Burl was responding to what you said about St. Kitts and Nevis, and he says that St. Kitts and Nevis as a federation, I have been saying St. Kitts Nevis should be a hyphenated word, and that way no one can say St. Kitts without adding Nevis. Okay, yeah. He also say, a compound word. Someone put that in perspective. Let me see what we have here. Just a couple more. Martha Mangotree says, good day all.
Good morning, caller. You're in the good old days.
Yes, I want to say hi to Amelita. This is Renard. Amelita.
Yes, sir.
So nice to hear your voice.
Who's speaking?
This is Renard.
Oh, Renard Hobart. Renard Hobart.
Girl, I love you to death.
Oh, my goodness. My good neighbor from Mount Lily. Nice hearing your voice.
Amelita, Augustine was my mother. She used to teach me all kind of things. She used to say, boy, behave yourself. I'm so happy you big it up. And I'm going to get you a book.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Amelita, just to hear your voice make my whole day today, girl. I love you. I can't say no more. I know this show coming to an end, and I love you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Villager, Mount Lilia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm coming to see you soon. Bye. Love you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Yes, Martha Mangotree was saying, good day all. It has been such a long time. How is everyone doing? We are doing great, and we hope you are doing the same. Donna Merritt is saying good morning, and final comment that is there is from Burl. Burl says, great show. Yes, indeed.
Well, as we bring the curtains down, Amelita, I want to be among the first to say thank you and how much we appreciated your presence here this morning and everything that you said. I remember my first encounter with you at Choice Radio many years ago. I think you were the president of the Teachers Union. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
And we had the same kind of response. So you are a quiet giant, because although you may have a very quiet, disarming personality, you obviously has impacted the lives of many, many people, and we are so grateful, and we want to honor you and commend you for your stick-to-itiveness, for staying with it, and your passion for teaching and imparting your talent and your philosophy for education to persons all around the world.
Thank you.
I hope you take into deep consideration what I said earlier and make sure that your work is out there. We have a lot of platforms that are available to us, and I believe that your book, your poems, your short stories, you never said anything about short stories, but I'm sure you are capable of writing short stories.
I do have a few of them.
You do have a few, okay. So
Correct.
I would like to be able to go on YouTube and so on and listen to your beautiful voice as you navigate through some of your poems and short stories. So all the best to you in your future endeavors, and I hope that your book continues to inspire people.
Indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, little thanks for consenting to come and for sharing so well. The outpouring of love has been tremendous. I mean, it was spontaneous.
Yes,
yes,
it was.
It was.
They can't help themselves. They had to say I love you.
That's it back, right?
I listen. They couldn't prepare yesterday. They're gonna come on and say it to the car. They didn't know he was gonna be here.
There you go.
And I'm sure you didn't expect some of especially the young men who called.
Well, to be honest, I remember teaching them, because there are certain names that you can't forget. Burl Jones, that's the first time I heard that name, Burl.
Yes.
And my good neighbor Renard from Mount Lily, we just live close next door.
Yes.
And the others, and I so appreciate your calling in. Let's hope that we'll be able to build our island and country as
Mine-
we go forward.
Yes.
Mine, Miss Jones, no young ladies call mine, only the young men.
That's all right. That's all
Okay,
right.
okay, all right. So thank you, Melita, and do continue to enjoy your retirement. I think Chefton.
Let me finish off with
yes.
these. Yeah,
Okay.
some people trying to get in. They realize the gate I go close and say, "My rushing." Somebody say, Rio Tafari says, "Global greetings, teacher Amelita." He said, keep up the great works and your involvement in agriculture and empowering women in agriculture."
Thank you.
And Simalita says, as usual, take care, folks. Get home safely. Thank you very much. That is where we leave it for today. It was indeed a great show. Yes.
Okay. So thanks. Continue to enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the week coming up. Hope that everything will go well. And we do look forward to being with you for next week edition of the Good Old Days.
And maybe we should say to Mrs. Elliot Chesley that no one comes on the Good Old Days once.
No. She's gonna come back.
Okay.
She's gonna come back.
Of course.
Because remember she's gonna work on another book.
Okay.
Right? Good. Yes.
Thanks very much for having me as well. It was my pleasure to share. And that's what we're all, as we go along in life's journey, we become wiser and we can share more and help others along the way.
Amen.
Lovely.
Thank you. God bless you, man.
Thank you.
Too.
Have a good day, everybody, and a great weekend.
Thank you.
Seem to